They tried to erase him, but he transformed into the tempest. No terror, no remorse. He is not their casualty. He is the aftermath they caused. Now he stands immovable, challenging them to confront the creature they forged. You shaped me. Now look at me, coward. When I dragged myself back with sharpened fangs and eyes burning in the dark, they labeled me a threat. I became what endurance required. They peeled away everything human, layer after layer, then acted stunned when I no longer tremble. When I no longer bleed from their blades. When I no longer weep when they disappear. They never saw the nights I locked eyes with the darkness, daring it to break first. They never heard the screams I swallowed, the silent wars raging behind calm eyes. They wanted something manageable, a marionette, a chess piece. I was never supposed to awaken, never supposed to ascend. But when I did, when the fragments finally aligned, they turned away. They had no use for a spirit that refused to be owned. I am no longer their design. I am the outcome of their neglect, their brutality, their fear. They constructed me from ruins and wondered why I drift like smoke. They shattered me and recoiled when I returned, hardened, sharp, unforgiving. I don't want their regrets. I don't want their sympathy. I want eye contact. Face me. Face the version of me they swore would never breathe. I am not the darkness. I am the storm itself. I am done waiting. This isn't a plea, it's judgment. They said I was excessive, too intense, too sensitive. So I buried the parts of me that longed for affection and nurtured the parts that knew how to endure. I stopped expecting them to care. I mastered silence. I learned to rebuild unseen. I learned to convert pain into power. They believe they know me. They think they remember me. But that version, the gentle one, the forgiving one, perished in the blaze they ignited. I wear her remains inside my chest like plated steel. Every breath echoes with what they destroyed. Every step I take now cracks the ground they once stood on with certainty. I no longer hide. I no longer apologize for what I've become. Why would I? They forced me to claw out of the grave, armed only with fury and a fractured heart. Now I wear both as honors. I earned this resilience. Every scar, every silenced scream, every frozen morning I rose when vanishing felt easier. I learned how to battle, not just others, but myself, my doubt, my shadows. I stared into the mirror and met the enemy, and I didn't flinch. I held her gaze
until she became my image, not my terror. Now they pretend ignorance, as if they played no part, as if they didn't strike the spark, and smile as everything I loved turned to ash. Cowards.
Now they murmur my name as if I'm a warning. They say I've changed, that I'm colder, harder, untouchable. Maybe they're right, but that's because I climbed so far out of the pit they dug that I exist beyond their sight. I am not who I was. I don't plead. I don't pursue. I don't depend. I decide. I choose my path. I choose my allies. I choose what must burn. And I paid for this place, with blood, with sleepless nights, with hollow days, with isolation, and the sting of betrayal. I paid with everything that was once whole. And what did I gain? Strength, relentless, unbreakable. The kind that can't be stolen because it was forged, not handed over. They think they see me, the composure, the facade, the armor, but they don't see the battlefield within, the daily fight to remain standing, to continue, to resist the abyss the world tried to pull me into. They don't hear the whispers. They don't feel the weight. They don't carry the memories. I'm not asking for space. I'm not requesting permission. I'm claiming what's mine. They believed their structures were eternal, untouchable, above me. But nothing lasts forever. Fortresses collapse, empires rot, crowns fall, and I will be standing when it all caves in. They will watch in terror as I rise, walking through the remnants of what they once controlled. They will reach for the authority they used to command and find emptiness. They will say my name, not with mockery, but with dread. Because I no longer seek approval. I no longer crave validation. I exist beyond their grasp, beyond their rules, beyond their games. I am not a footnote. I am the force that rewrites the narrative. They played their game, built their fragile kingdom, convinced it would endure. But the base was flawed, the walls were weak, and they missed the fractures. I didn't. I saw everything, and I waited for the moment, for the second, to step forward and prove what they refused to accept. I was always stronger, and I was always meant to win.